the daily grind, the hamster wheel, if you will,
Yeah.
Groundhog's Day, all those different, analogies you can use, but it happens. It happens quickly, and you forget how precious every single day is. And you're not guaranteed tomorrow. So all those things, you just get perspective.
Welcome back, Benchwarmers. And today we're joined by a friend of ours as well, Kent French. Kent, welcome back to the show.
Good to be back, Corey. Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. We wanted to recap a little bit of kind of what we previewed the last time you were here, and then maybe get your thoughts on the new project you're working on, and maybe a little bit of thoughts on the Ducks before we get ready for a playoff push here to start the season.
I like that. I like that phrase, playoff push. We haven't heard that in a while in
It's
Anaheim.
been a
So
long
yeah,
time.
keep it alive, man. That's awesome. Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. All right. Now, before we get started, if you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe or follow the channel. And if you like what you see here, please don't forget to slap that like button. All right, Kent. So last time you were here back, oh man, it was about a year and a half ago now, if I had to do the timeline in my head.
I think you're right. I think it was that long ago. Yeah.
Yeah, you were getting ready to explore the world with your wife and daughter. So we just wanted to kind of recap a little bit, have a few questions on your thoughts on your experiences through that. So we'll jump right into it.
Yeah. No, it was. As I like to say, it was hopefully one of many trips in a lifetime, not a once in a lifetime trip. And if I could do it again tomorrow, I would. And it was everything we thought it would be, and 100 times more, if you will. So we did 10 countries in 10 months. It was counting the U.S. My daughter would certainly reprimand me, if you will, if I didn't say that we started off in New York. She said, if I'm going to do this thing, we're going to see the Statue of Liberty. So we kicked things off in New York, then went to Portugal. And it's so funny. I look back and I try to remember the order we did this thing. We had Portugal, Portugal, Greece, Croatia, Malta for Christmas. And then we went to Thailand, then Australia, New Zealand, Bali, Japan, if I got that right. So yeah, it was cool. It was great, because what we ended up doing is we planned as we went. We kind of penciled out the schedule, but we didn't make pre-reserved hotel / Airbnb reservations as we went. We just kind of booked it as whatever we felt was the right place that we wanted to go next, and it was exhausting in many ways. There's something called decision fatigue, which is a real thing, which you're sitting there and you're trying to, spending time on booking Airbnbs and flights and visas and all kinds of stuff. And, but it gave us flexibility as we met people along the way. We were able to stay in places longer that we wanted to. And crazy thing, when we were in Thailand, we were in our heads, we thought we were going to go to Indonesia and go to Bali then. But we're kind of looking at a map one night and we're like, wait a second, we're only this far from Australia. Why don't we go here? And then why don't we go to New Zealand? And then we're in New Zealand and like, we should probably go hit the Great Barrier Reef before we head from this side of the world. So we went back to Australia, went to Japan for a week. We're going to be there a month, and it was more expensive than we had anticipated. So then we ended up going to Bali for 5 weeks. We met families along the way. One family from Indiana, we saw in 4 different countries. And
wait, you saw the same family in 4 different countries?
Family in 4 different countries. They had 2 boys that were in middle school and a 9-year-old daughter that certainly connected with our daughter Everly, who had just turned 8 at the time. So yeah, it's crazy how it all worked out, and their itinerary kind of lined up with ours. And we thought we were going to go to the North Island, New Zealand. They're like, you got to go to the South Island. So we ended up going to the South Island and met them down there. And yeah, it was just, experiences and stories, and the people we met. We interviewed, I don't know, 30 people along the way. That was kind of the plan, to establish this family brand called Frenchitivity, which is it kind of rhymes with positivity, creativity, tranquility, and there was a reason there. Those are the kind of the pillars that we built with this brand. So yeah, man, I certainly could sit here and talk for several podcasts probably about all the stuff that we saw and that we did and the people we met. But it was a tremendous experience, and we look forward to getting back out on the road, and not probably to the extent that we did, but certainly get back out there. And there's so many, you start it now, so we're just scratching the surface. 9 countries outside the US. It's like, oh my God, you
Well,
know,
and let's be honest,
so
you're
many
probably
countries.
creating a travel monster in your daughter. I mean, for somebody that age, that young, to be able to explore all these different parts of the world, I mean, she's just going to be even more open, I would think, to exploring other parts.
Yeah, totally. And we met people along the way, and teenagers, people in their early 20s, going, "Hey," and saying to our daughter, and she had no idea what they're saying, but
Yeah.
get your visa. This is something you want to do. Like out of college, go and spend a year here, a year
Mhm.
there, and experience the world. I mean, there's so many opportunities out there and things to see outside of the U.S. Yeah, you're right, and we've been able to come back, and um, we are looking forward to seeing how she unpacks this trip over the next several years, like how it really impacts her and
Mhm.
her learning and being able to look in a history book and go, wait a second, I was there, like I
Yeah.
did that. We've already gone to her third grade class and did a presentation on bodies of water. There, the teacher
Ooh.
asked us to come in. So we did a family presentation for their class. So it's already giving back, which we were hoping that it would, and
Mhm.
not just be a family trip, but certainly impact and inspire others to learn, and possibly do what we did. So yeah, it's still work. It's just like every day I'm
Yeah.
reliving the trip as we're putting up content. So it's yeah, it was awesome.
Say, you got me with the content thing because when I saw you, I think it was back in July or August, I saw you in the summer and I was like, whoa, you're back. I thought you were still gone. You're like, nah, I just have so much content. I'm trying to just get it
Yeah,
all
I
out.
know. I know. I think people thought we were in Japan up until Christmas time. I mean,
Yeah.
we were I was shooting the entire time, and editing along the way. And as we progressed, it was just too much to do and to try
Yeah.
to stay consistent. So we were able to hire a virtual assistant, that helped us with some of the editing. And my wife and I also have a podcast called the French Activity Podcast, where we're talking to like-minded individuals and families
Mhm.
and couples who have left their regular lives, if you will, and are traveling. And a lot of them are created a life on the road full time. And it's remarkable and it's inspiring, and it's you don't hear it, but once you're in this new world of people that are living on the road with their families, there's quite a few folks that are doing it, and it's pretty cool to hear how they're doing it, why they're doing it, and how it's affected them and their families. So we're doing that through the podcast, as well. So yeah, pushing all this out, it's been like, I like to use the word exhausting, because I'm trying to be a content creator and starting over
Hey, you know what
and
though? Like I
shaking it
said,
up. Yeah,
last time you were on, we couldn't figure out how to get your video on. I can see you today, so you've already made a huge improvement and all the stuff you did
I
on social over the years.
I would
So,
like to think I've taken strides, Corey. I appreciate that. Yeah, who the hell knows, man? I'm learning every single day. We're on TikTok now. That's a whole new world.
yep.
Yeah, it's insane. So yeah, learning every day, learning new tricks, and trying to figure out this thing called the algorithm.
Yeah. Oh,
Holy heck, that's crazy, dude. Just craziness. But yeah, all
yeah.
good.
So as far as, like you said, learning a lot, what would you think is the most impactful place you visited while you were gone and why? Like, is there one particular location that really opened your eyes or really changed the way you look at things?
That's a great question, and I get asked that a good amount, and rightfully so. And I think for me, the place that so many close seconds, but I would say the number one spot for me was the South Island of New Zealand. And
Oh, okay.
I'm not a big Lord of the Rings fan, just because I never dove into it, not because I'm
Yeah.
I'm not. But it was filmed there, and I can see why. I mean, the landscape is just incredible, right? Like the coastline is mimics driving the one up to Monterey with the cliffs and the ocean breaking against the rocks, and then you have the pastures and the deer and the sheep and the cows, and then it moves into the mountain ranges where the clouds are below the mountain ranges, and
Wow.
just there's just space, which we don't get to see a lot here in Southern California. I mean, there's certainly space in the U.S., but
Yeah.
yeah, it was just beautiful, and the people were wonderful and welcoming. And we went to the Milford Sound, and we swam with wild dolphins, and we had some amazing experiences. And just it was a place that I can certainly see myself going back to. I would say Thailand was a very close second for sure.
Oh, okay. I've
Yeah,
heard a lot of good things about New Zealand and Australia, so I'm not shocked that New Zealand's at the top of your list there.
dude, it's so, I mean, I recommend it. Again, this is South Island, we didn't even touch the North Island, so it's just
Oh,
a wonderful place to visit. And the landscape, as I mentioned, the people, the climate, everything is just, it's beautiful. I mean, you got to be in a mindset to slow down a little bit, though. I mean,
yeah,
we rented a car, and we drove up and down the western coast of the South Island. And yeah, it was awesome. We've seen Airbnbs like 2-3 nights at a time, just hiked. um we're outdoors all the time. And yeah, it just kind of opens your eyes to a whole different way of living. Let's
Yeah,
put
I
it
bet.
that way. Yeah.
All right. So then, as far as like cultural stuff, like, was there another place or any place that culturally made you really like, wow, these might shift kind of the way I look at things or your perspective?
Yeah, I would think. Well, I would think most of it, the entire trip did culturally, and I'll start with that, and I'll explain that. I tell people that I've been very fortunate to grow up in this bubble we call Orange County, right? Like, very fortunate. But I had a lot of preconceived notions of what outside the bubble would be. Like, you hear, just of stories and cultures, and the way of life other places might not be, the best. It might
Mhm.
not be the safest. Certainly you can find those things. You can find those things in the US, right?
Absolutely.
But the people that we met, the places that we met, everything was, they opened their arms to us. Like, I can't believe they were just incredibly nice, welcoming people that we met. And I will say, specifically in Thailand, um, and throughout the entire trip, I didn't get asked once what I did, what I used to do,
Mm,
how much money we make, whatever it is. It's but how you show up. It's how you show up, how you treat your family, and how you treat others. And family is number one, from what I've across these places we visited, but Thailand in particular. It's called the Land of Smiles for a reason, and everybody
okay.
there is so nice. I didn't know that. Like, my wife reminded me of that. I had no idea it was a Land of Smiles, which I
I've
should
never
have.
heard
I
that before.
sh- I should have. I don't know why, but once you're there, you totally get it. And um, just people, we met just like tuk tuk drivers, and we got to know one in particular. Her name was Yu Yu, and she would drive us every day and meet us and take us. Um, and just you become, and it's something that's called slow travel, Corey. And I never really knew what this term meant, but for
Mhm.
us, me in particular, you get what, 2 weeks off a year, and you're lucky if you get to spend it all in one sitting.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're taking 3 days here, whatever, it's 7 days here. But you don't have a lot of time to immerse yourself in culture. You're checking things off the list. I want to see
Mhm.
this, sightsee here, eat here, whatever it is, and then I have to get on a plane and go home. But we spent 5 weeks in Thailand, and we were living in the culture.
Yeah.
Got up. We need to go to the grocery store. We need to find a market. We need to go to this cafe. We're going to go to this cafe, take a walk on the beach, seeing the same people every day, getting to know them. I will say this wasn't in Thailand, but one experience in Greece. We met a lady who, walking on the beach, connected, had a conversation, stayed in touch. She ended up inviting our family to her home, made us
Oh,
dinner.
wow.
She had olive trees all on her property, and
Oh,
Everly made olives, Greek olives, put them in water, and they're there waiting for us when we come back. She says, "You're going to come back." Everly made a label, and they're waiting for us when we do come back to Greece. That was on the island of Paros. So yeah, again, I could go story after story about these
yeah.
these people. But yeah, that was, when you're talking about, it really resonated with me, and certainly affected us, and my family. It was the people and the way they treated us, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, obviously, you've done traveling with like the team before and gone on road
Yeah,
trips, I assume. So you've done like extended trips, but not to this extent, obviously. So being away from home for this long of a time, did it change your priorities at all?
absolutely. I think it's, you do something like this. Something is, how do I say it? I mean, incredibly fortunate and love my career, but there is something to be said, like, there's still something missing. Still,
Mhm.
you're looking for fulfillment. Um, and I think when you come back, you look at conversations differently, meaningful conversations. You come home and a lot of things are the same, um, people talking, complaining, discussing the same things that they
Yeah.
were when we left. And when meeting the people that we met on the road, our conversations were a lot different. It's like,
Yeah.
what do you want out of life? Like, why are you doing this trip? And, what can we do to make this, place better and your family happier? And just the conversations just certainly shifted, and you
Mhm.
get caught up. And I should say me, speaking from personal experience, in the daily grind, the hamster wheel, if you will, Groundhog's Day, all those different, analogies you can use, but it happens quickly, and you forget how precious every single day is. Um, and you're not guaranteed tomorrow. So all those things, you just get perspective, is I guess what I'm trying to say. And it's just a little bit more a deeper meaning for me of what I want to do and how I want to show up every day and what I really want to do. Like, I want to inspire other people to do what we did. I want to come to the table too when I do broadcasts, whether it's
Yeah.
sports or travel or entertainment. I want to have a deeper meaning and a different perspective that I can bring to the table now after these experiences,
Oh, yeah.
that maybe other people can't. So yeah, it's just a deeper way of thinking, and hopefully I can, again, inspire other people to do the same.
Okay, so maybe kind of a similar question, but not exactly. But is there, like, what's maybe the biggest lesson that you got out of this trip? Now, that might be a similar question, I guess, to the taking home as and your priorities, but just in general, what was like the one lesson or one thought you come home with?
The world's a beautiful place. Yeah, I
Seriously.
mean, it is, and people should see it and experience it. And whether it's just in the U.S. or getting outside the U.S., but I think you just please go travel, see the world. And a big thing has been, if not now, when.
Absolutely.
And I was one too, Corey, by the way, like when my wife presented me with this idea, I was like, yeah, yeah, what about next year?
Yeah.
Like, whatever. And so, um, it was a perfect storm for us and for me based on the broadcast landscape and how things
Mhm.
were changing rapidly. That wasn't by any means the main reason that I did step away. With Bally's at the time at bankruptcy, and
Yeah.
the victory hadn't even been the deal hadn't been done yet, and then now they don't even have a pre and post game show on Victory
Yeah.
anymore. So
Yeah. Which is weird.
things have changed, which is nuts, right? So, but it was but it's easy for someone like me to say, we call them self-induced roadblocks. Like, I can make up excuses not to do it, and they're valid excuses, but
Mhm.
I'm not gonna, like I just mentioned, tomorrow's not guaranteed. And you hear about people who retire and then they wait and they wait and they save, but then all of a sudden something happens, some unfortunate circumstance happens to them and or their family, that they are not unable to do it. So I'm an older dad, and I wanted to be able to go and share the experiences with my daughter while I'm healthy, and
Yeah.
why I can do the things. I can hike, I can swim, I can run around and do all the things and do them now. But in the podcast that my wife and I do, we did meet this lady who's from Australia, and she left everything there and came to the US. She's traveling by herself, and she did
Wow.
say, if not when. Right. And it
Yeah.
makes total sense. And is it crazy? Yeah, sure. I mean, rented our house out, we leave our jobs. It's not easy,
Hmm.
but if not now, when? Right. So I would say go out and experience the world. There's so much out there, so many people, so many places, so much to learn, so much to um open your own eyes to different things.
Yeah.
And I think that's my biggest takeaway.
And I think a lot of that is obviously people get comfortable and don't want to take that leap. But I've always kind of gone with the thing is you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable because otherwise you're never going to experience or try anything. So,
Well, thanks for bringing that up, because no, I'm that is something that I has been a mantra of mine for the last couple of years, is get uncomfortable,
hmm,
because you can get comfort is one thing, but you're not necessarily growing, in my
correct.
opinion. Once you get out of your comfort zone is when you're challenging yourself and you're starting to grow. And not to get it too much into it, but I felt like I had so much, and I still have so much more to give as a broadcaster, that I need to step out of my comfort zone so I can grow and get better.
Absolutely.
and challenge myself, because it's very easy to sit. I mean, again, great job to be a pre and post and do it, but you're doing the same thing every night, and then you have restrictions that you're working within,
Mhm.
what you can and can't do, and you get in a position where there is this creative part of you that wants to push the limits more and do more things and whatever it is. And so yeah, you need to step outside of your comfort zone, man. And I don't care how old you are, whether you're in your
Yeah.
early 20s or in my mid 50s. So it's one of those things that, yes, you have to be uncomfortable being, or comfortable being uncomfortable. And I'm definitely comfortable being uncomfortable right now. But let me tell you something: being uncomfortable uh, is exhausting,
Yeah.
because you are going through something that you've never done before, and it's the unknown. It's exciting, but it's exhausting.
Yeah, absolutely. It's weird working all these different concerts and events now. I kind of get a little bit of that like butterfly the night before because it's like a
Hmm.
huge show. We're gonna make a lot. It's gonna be busy, and I'm all prepared and we're ready. But at the same time, I'm like,
Yeah,
you never know. Like something's gonna come that I'm not expecting. I'm gonna have to pivot somewhere or something. So it's kind of that just a little bit of nervous, but a good nervous, I would say.
yeah, absolutely. And this will take you to another step, right? So now that you've done this and kind of stepped out of your comfort zone of where you were, this will give you more confidence to take the next step to something else. Whether,
Yeah,
and that might not be in merch or doing, something within the entertainment industry, it might be something else. But you've taken that first step going, I know I can do this. It is uncomfortable, but I challenge myself, but I know I can do it.
yeah,
And if I
exactly.
can't, I'll figure it out, or I'll ask someone to help me, with it. So, um, yeah, dude, that's awesome, and I think, and I applaud you for taking that step, and
Appreciate it.
there's only good things to come.
Yeah, and as OC Vibe continues to grow, there's only more things that I'm gonna have to do. So.
Absolutely, no, for sure.
All right. So last question about the trip before we jump into the new project stuff. I obviously you learned a lot about a lot of things, but do you think at the end of the day you learned more about the world or do you think you learned more about yourself?
Myself, yeah, for sure. I mean, this was one of those trips, and it's not only learning more about myself, but learning more about my family,
Yeah.
um, establishing a better bond with my daughter, a better relationship with my wife. I think is as romanticized as the sports broadcasting industry can be. There's also sides of it too, where at its peak for me, I was traveling about 150 days a year, and it was, it takes its toll,
Yeah.
and you need to, you know, find out where your priorities are and where your roots are, and what and your support system, which is going to be there at the end of the day. So most certainly it was about me, and also just kind of just going back to that conversation we're having. It's like pushing myself to see how far I could go, and I learned that I can do it, and that I can step away, and that I'm not afraid to do it, and that whatever is ahead, I'll take it on, and I it won't bother me. And nothing really scares me, and I'm it's like failure doesn't scare me. It's failure. You learn from failure, and you
Yeah.
move on, and you learn why you failed, and what didn't work, and then you turn that around, and you make that a success. So yeah, no, it's definitely learn about me, my family, and that was, the biggest takeaway.
Well, that's awesome. And I'm glad you guys were able to do that because, like, as a kid, my parents used to take us on little trips, not to the extent you guys did, but a
Yeah.
week here or 5 days here. And we literally now, as I go back to Ohio to visit for Christmas and stuff, we talk about, remember that trip we did this and this stupid thing happened? And
Hmm.
so you're creating lifelong memories for your daughter as well. So good on you guys.
Thanks, man. Well, and also everything's documented. How crazy is it in this
Yeah,
day
that's
and
true.
age,
You have a
right?
lot more
I mean,
detail
I'm
than
I'm a
we
little
do.
more I'm a little more long in the tooth than you are, but still, like, even in your childhood, I don't think, we documented everything as much as we are now. And
Yeah, no,
so how
not
cool.
nearly
I'm
as
I'm
much.
I'm stoked that my daughter can have all this video, regardless of
Yeah.
where it takes us, that she can look back and see exactly what we did.
Yeah, that's awesome. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I know we have photo albums, but that's a lot harder to go
Yeah.
through than a phone.
Totally. No, you're totally right. It's crazy.
All right, so now we're gonna pivot to some new stuff. Obviously, Ducks are back in season, but you have a new project that you started working on, and I think it debuted a couple weeks ago. The Mask and the Mic podcast that you're doing with Guy Bear. So tell us a little bit about that and how that came up.
Yeah, Gia and I have been broadcast partners for a long, long time, and did the pre and post game for the Ducks for a while. And so when I stepped away, um, and then we all you obviously stayed in touch and became good friends. And then he, when things with Victory, they just decided not to do the pre and post game show. We just kept talking that there's got to be a project that him and I could do together,
Oh yeah.
and we feel like we got a great chemistry, and that we so easy to talk to him, and we know kind of how to tee each other up on different topics. So we're like, we know that it's a saturated market in the podcast industry, but it is still relatively new from what
Mhm.
I've the research that I've done. So we're like, what, let's come up with something, and let's not try to be anything but ourselves,
Correct.
and not, just talk about, the things that we are good at talking about. And also we have, friends that we've made along the way in the industry. Gee, with a lot of his, teammates, a lot of people he played
Mhm.
with and against, and then of course people that I've been involved with both the Ducks and Angels, and the people that we've been able to come across, in the entertainment industry as well. So we decided to create a podcast called The Mask and the Mic, and for obvious reasons, that's the name that
Also, that's a
we
great
kind of
name, by the way.
stuck
It's
on.
so good.
We're like, what the hell do we call this thing?
Yeah, because that's how
Um,
Brett and I started. We're like, oh, we're right now we're just the podcast, and then it like kind of
yeah,
spiraled into bench, and then it went from there. So like getting to that
yeah,
name, but
man.
what a good one for you guys.
Yeah, we thank you, and I mean, we have hundreds of names that we were kicking
Oh, I'm
around
sure.
to, like, as you can imagine. So, but yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun, and whether it's just Guy and I kicking around, you know, topics and things that have happened recently, like our last show we just taped was about obviously looking back at the Olympics,
Yeah.
specifically the women and men's hockey teams. And Guy was, Olympian back in '98 with Nagano. I don't think a lot of people
Mhm.
realize that he was an Olympian, and
Yeah, I saw the clip you guys were talking about, and there was a picture of him in play in the game.
yeah, right. So I mean, Keith Kachuk was his roommate.
Oh man, I did not know that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
so you got the Kachuk brothers, right? I mean, and Billy Guerin was his roommate. He's the GM of the men's Olympic team. So it's certainly a lot of things to talk about there, and we dive into goaltending. He loves talking about goaltending,
Of course.
obviously. So, but then we had Garrett Anderson and Mark Gubiza, and
Yeah,
so
Garrett Anderson. I
and
don't. That guy doesn't do a lot of interviews, so congrats on you on getting him. And man, was
dude,
he good?
he's awesome. He's become a friend, but he's just um, I always say that my goal whenever I'm on set with him is to make him laugh and make him smile. And he's got a great personality. You just got to bring it out in him, right? So
Yeah,
it was awesome. I mean, so yeah, this is giving us an opportunity to have those long form conversations that, on set you get 3-4 minutes and that's
yeah,
it. This is giving us an opportunity to dive into the personality and the person. So yeah, it's been fun. And as you know, sitting here on this platform with you, like, you can do it from your house, and so
yeah,
it makes it, really open it up to kind of a whole new world. And so we're having fun with it. We did a live show, Olympic show at Green Cheek Beer and Orange.
awesome,
Had
man.
some people down, and kind of did one of those. We might do some more shows across Orange County, some more live type shows. So we're kind of open to seeing where this thing goes, and just having fun with it right now.
That's awesome. And then I did notice a couple weeks ago before the Olympic break that there was some movement around the broadcasting, and you filled in and did do a couple pregame stuff with Guy again. So it was nice to see you guys back in the studio.
Oh yeah, I got the call out of the bullpen. Alexis Downey was traveling with the team, so they were kind enough to call me up, and they have this taped pregame they do.
You guys do it in the
Um,
Korea studio, right?
do it in the Cray studio. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it was different not having the live environment and the live, all the fans behind you, and the way we used to do it. But yeah, it was fun. It was, and as they say, just like riding a bike. We got in there and just kind of started going. I was like, oh, this. I remember this. This feels familiar. So yeah, I was able to jump in and do two, and we'll see how things shake out as the last 2 months of the season, and hopefully, playoff run. That's a
Yeah.
segue for you right there.
I was just going to say, you're leading me that perfectly. Thank you. So obviously we're in the third wild card spot right now. We start the season back up in the last
Mhm.
quarter here tonight at Honda Center. So, what are your thoughts? What are your feelings going into this? I feel like we have a chance to get in. I feel like the Pacific's kind of just everyone's kind of jumbled up, so it's going to be a weird, really tight race here at the end. But do you ultimately think the Ducks can get into the playoff race?
I do. I do, and I don't think there's for me there's not a question. I think they will.
I
And
agree.
the reason for that is when you have a team that starts the way they started, which is 7 in a row or whatever it was, then they lose 10 straight, then they come back and they win 9 in a row. I think, and then you got Coach Q, who's
Yeah.
got the experience. You're learning along the way, and you're learning how to get through those tough stretches and come out on the other side.
Mhm.
And the fact that you're able to get off to good start, you hear that the term banking points, and there's
Exactly.
a huge there that's a huge thing because coaches know and players know that this you're not going to win every single game. You're going to have peaks and valleys, right? So
Yeah.
to be able to have those points and put those points away at the beginning of the season like they were able to do has provided them an opportunity to go out and learn and grow as a team. And there's more youth than veterans on that
Oh,
team, although there's a good mix, but there's more youth than veterans. And I think you have a guy too, like my big um, I would say the person that's going to make the difference. I know it's a team sport. It's going to be Leo Carlson, and the reason I
oh,
say Leo is because he's a guy who certainly knew we all knew he had potential to do what he's doing, but then he starts to show the talent that he has, and then
yeah.
now he's matched up against the top line, the top defensive pair. Everybody's coming after him. His time and space is taken away. Now he's got to learn how to really play against the top
Yeah.
and the very, very best. So coming out of this injury, he didn't play in the Olympics, as we know. This could be positive for the Ducks. He's going to
Agreed.
be refreshed and ready to go. But it's like, can he, you know, make those adjustments, if you will, against the
Yeah.
top players in the league? So Leo's going to be a huge part of it. Cutter obviously has been doing what
Yep.
we traded him for, and then Dusty is going to be another factor. As goaltending, as we saw in the Olympics, goaltending can make all the difference in the world. Now the
Yeah.
backup situation is going to be interesting
Yeah. I don't know what their plan
with
is now.
with
The
with
Mrazek.
Mrazek who's out. So, but yeah, you got to have somebody back there as well.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's going to be. I'm confident. I think again, the coaching staff is unlike any other. I mean,
I
they put together an all-star coaching
There's
staff
3 head
under Q.
coaches in the staff alone.
It's unreal. It's unreal. So yes, a long-winded answer to your question. I believe they will make the playoffs. Actually, certain of it. I don't think that's a question, especially when Henry says you better make the playoffs. I think
Yeah. Henry's
I
allowed
think
his checkbook to open, but let's use it
Henry
wisely. He's
Henry
restricted.
Henry doesn't say that much. So when he comes and says that, I think the mandate is out. So watch this team too. I don't believe either. Like I don't think there's a lot of tweaks other than the backup goaltending situation, but I think you might add a piece or two at the deadline, but
Yeah.
nothing that's going to mortgage your future. And
Yeah,
I
it's gonna be
think,
around the edges, kind of minor detail things, but I
yeah,
understand,
not
and I trust Pat. I think he's got a vision of what he wants to be on the ice compared to the previous regime we had where they
yeah,
kinda were, "We shouldn't tear it down, we might need to, but we won't, it's not time," but I think Pat knows exactly what he wants, and I think him and Q are on the same page, which ultimately puts the team, I think, in the best
yeah.
situation.
Grit, character, those are two that'll probably the character guys, right? That
Yeah,
we'll see, added if anybody is added, but certainly there will be an eye towards the future. If anyone is added, there's no such thing as a rental item with this team right
no.
now. So it's got to be if you're going to get somebody, then and you have to give something up, then this player better be part of your future as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want an expiring deal if we're giving up a bunch of stuff for
Right.
somebody to walk away. Although we are a much more exciting market now, I think, for free agency moving into this offseason. But let's finish this year first.
Yes. Let's finish this year first for sure.
All right. Any other last thoughts before we wrap up here, Kent?
Last thoughts. I don't know. Yeah, just good chatting with you, and always good to get caught up and
Yeah.
find out what you're doing, and glad the podcast is still going, is alive and well. And
Different versions
no,
of it now moving forward, obviously, with Brendan stepping away a little
I
bit. But
I
it gives
like
me an
it.
opportunity to try some things. So,
Well, and all I can say is that there's some exciting stuff coming up. Of course, baseball season is going to kick
Yep.
off here very soon. But then coming out of the Olympics, you have the soccer coming up,
Yeah, World Cup here
right?
shortly. Yeah,
World Cup
there's
is
a lot
happening,
coming on.
so it's gonna be fun to watch. And then we got some friends over at the Orange County Soccer Club,
Oh, okay,
OCSC, and
nice.
they're kicking off as well. So yeah, there's a lot to talk about and a lot to watch here this summer, and can't wait, man. And getting ready for LA 28.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be here before you know. I can't wait for them to finish all the projects at Honda Center so we can see what it looks like and then show it off to the world in 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah, why don't you keep me
Right now.
posted on OC Vibe? I went there for opening night and I haven't been back, and I got
Oh,
lost. I've never
woo.
gotten lost. I was there for I don't know over 20 years, and I forgot I couldn't get into the building. So
Yeah.
it's nuts, dude. So yeah, keep me posted on how that rolls.
Yeah, for sure. And also let Guy know I'm going to be reaching out to him as well. I want to have him on and get his perspective from your guys' podcast and hear the other side. I want to hear from the
I
mask instead of just
I well, as you know, the mask is mentioned first for a reason because he is the OG.
yeah, absolutely. The
Yes,
original best of all time.
he is the original man. So yes, I will give him a heads up that you will be reaching out for sure.
Appreciate it. And again, Kent, I thank you for taking your time out to do this again as well.
Anytime, my friend. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And until next time, Benchwarmers, stay ready. This was a Sycamore Fourth Studios production.